Internet. Welcome
Hello.
to Dungeons and Dragons and stuff.
Mostly
Uh,
stuff.
yeah.
Relatively few dungeons and dragons so far.
Well, really, like half a dragon regularly, but
Right. And there was that one dungeon that was.
Um, yeah, so we are picking up from last time. Unfortunately, we don't have Alyssa today, unless she decides to pop in later on her own. But as far as I know, she's not joining today at all. Um, but today, after some stressful attempts to deal with uh, a party situation, we are continuing our journey via airship um, toward the capital city of Kaia. Um, and I suppose let's go ahead and roll the intro.
Woo!
yeah, I love the intro.
Not that we get to see it.
No, but I like it a lot.
Like the idea of the intro.
End of an intro.
All right. And we are back.
Yay!
Yay!
Yay.
Okay, so airship travel continues. Estimated will be at least the end of the day, maybe early tomorrow morning before you guys reach your destination. So, anyone you want to talk to, anything you want to do?
To be honest, I don't really remember what I was doing or what was happening.
Yeah, same.
Right. It has been 2 weeks, so. No, for the most part, we were dealing with the imminent fallout of. Okay, we had the dream session, and then when we woke up, a couple of the characters were cursed. And then that was dealt with, but then Ruby also appeared to be under some kind of curse. But it appears afterward that that was not a thing.
Right.
And so we kind of tried to figure out what was going on with Ruby, and then she and Kiri had a bit of a fight question mark, and Kiri had Kalik land the airship and did her thing where she was like, you either are going to deal with us and work things out and stay, or you're going to leave. And Ruby stayed. And then they took off again. As soon as they did, Ruby went and started continuing the fight to some extent with Kiri, and Kiri they kind of reached an agreement-ish where Kiri's like, look, I'm gonna try to help, but I'm also not to Kiri, there was an important distinction between trying to help and being quote unquote on Ruby's side.
Right.
So, but that distinction did not seem to be something that Ruby noted or understood. But anyway,
Gotcha.
so yeah, that was where things kind of ended.
So Jolie is just gonna stick to people who are not Ruby, essentially.
Yep.
Well, not like Ruby's an option. Shoot, Ian, I'm sorry. Could you send me Thud's new sheet again? Because I can't find it.
Oh, I don't have Denar's up. Oh,
Hey, also, we do
waiting
have
for a new Jolie sheet
we've got new features, by the way. If you go on the chat thing on the side and go click on the little on the journal, you can pull that up, and it should have all the characters you have access to there.
Yeah.
Oh.
At which point, if you click those characters, you can pull up. It has a picture and whatnot, and then you can click abilities and attributes. And I've pre-programmed some of your more popular ability roles
Cool.
in there, so you can just click the little die icon, and it'll automatically roll them.
Oh, it's awesome. Thank you.
No problem.
Mhm.
Okay, so but as far as your character sheet, I'll find that and throw that at you. Hang on.
What's this jukebox thing?
You can play music.
Hopefully, you guys can't play music.
Yeah, Ian can play, and we can see what he's playing.
Let's see. So
I could see that turning pretty chaotic if we all had.
yeah, well, like if and when we're all using our headphones, then it's actually a theoretical possibility. But aside from that, it's going to cause some pretty bad feedback into mics and stuff. I've tested it before and didn't go great. Okay, so party member.
It was always fun when on my side when you used it with me. I don't know about you.
It was Alyssa's when she wasn't using headphones, kind of caused some stuff. All right, I think that should, as far as I know, that should be the updated.
Okay.
I think. Double check.
Have you updated Jolie's in a while? I haven't gotten one since the start, so.
Yeah, hang on, I'm double checking. Okay, yeah, that should be. Yeah, that's got it.
I mean, I've been keeping mine updated, but there were some things that we forgot to put on it at the
right.
which we needed to do.
Rachel. Message. Doop.
Yeah, this has menacing and relentless endurance, savage attacks.
Yeah, you guys aren't the ones I have to. I don't have like secret information on your guys's. I have a version for Alyssa. I have a version of her character sheet for her and a version for me. So I've got to keep them separate because mine has some secret information she doesn't know. But but okay, yeah. So moving forward, just hanging out with Dinar and Kalik and enjoying the airshipiness.
Yes, it's beautiful up here. That's it. That's all I have to say. It's beautiful. Sky.
Kiri comes upstairs and seems to, and kind of goes and sits by the bow of the ship and seems to kind of be trying to work off the stress of being involved in that situation she didn't want to be involved in.
So Ruby, and is Ruby just gonna be like holed up somewhere?
Yeah, I guess Ruby's just downstairs.
Probably meditating.
Okay. I guess Thud's gonna go sit down next to Kiri and just kind of sit there for a little bit.
Yeah. Emera follows. He kind of is hovering nearby, if not.
Is she still a cat, or she turned back?
As of right now, she's still a cat.
Then I'll pet her.
Okay. She seems to enjoy being a cat, but You're also not 100% sure she has full control over changing back, but even if she doesn't, it'll wear off in a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So that'll resolve itself. Um, but yeah, so she's hanging around. Uh, and like, I guess go ahead and roll an insight check if you want, Thud.
Any plus 4, 14.
14. Okay. Um, I mean, Kiri seems tense and like she's yeah. Like I mean, you get the feeling that whatever just happened is significantly weighing on her, but you don't get more than that.
Okay. Um, it's still kind of like looking out into the sky. Thud's gonna say, my mother was a slave trader. You remember that?
Kiri nods.
Hard to forget.
Relatively recent.
Like a
I
week
think
ago.
Couple weeks.
I grew up seeing what slavery did to people.
Uh,
I tend to take free will very, very seriously. And now he's gonna look over at her and say, your charm is a very useful ability, but you should be very careful deciding when to use it and who to use it on, because there will always be consequences.
she kind of regards you. At which point, when she looks up, you see how kind of drained and tired she is, and she looks at you and is like, "It's only something I use if I'm afraid that I or people I care about are in danger." And she kind of nods over and is like, "This wasn't an exception, but I appreciate your concern."
Ed kind of nods, and then he's gonna get out. Um, I guess holding Emra before he walks away. He's gonna like turn back and say, um, and to make one thing very clear, no one is gonna force Ruby off of this ship.
And she kind of heaves a sigh and is like, "I told her I'd try to help, and I will. But," and she kind of like meets your eyes and is like, "I'm not on her side because she's on the wrong side right now. I don't know if I can help." And she kind of makes a little bit of a like head shake. It's like, "If you can, great, but..." And she kind of
That's gonna like
straightens up and kind of tries to get her resolve back and shakes her hands like, "Look, I can manipulate people. I'm pretty good at it, but it makes me really good at reading it too. And when I manipulate people ever, it's for a reason. She doesn't have one. She just does it to make herself and people around her miserable. And I really want her to fix that, but I can't make her. I'll help if I can."
that's gonna kind of squat down and say, Ruby's a very damaged person, and she does need someone on her side to heal. You should know that I'm going to be that person.
She kind of frowns and I'm not going to let her put any of the rest of us in danger. And
Neither will I.
I know how big an asset she can be.
Ruby says a lot of things, but if she's ever actually a danger, I'll take care of it myself.
She nods and like,
I'm gonna walk away now.
yeah.
Hmm.
You do hear her say as you're turning around, because I was saying it when you said you walk away. She kind of says, "I appreciate that." But yeah, it's
At this point, Denara's gonna turn to Jolie and say, "Would you like me to lift you up so you could be blowing in the wind and you can shout that you are king of the world?"
Okay.
Okay, it's very fun. You're going to like it.
I think so.
So Denara picks Jolie up and holds her aloft as if she were Simba and the Lion King.
I'm king of the world!
Is it fun?
It was okay.
Oh, well, fine.
Um,
Denara sets her down.
Lily's gonna kind of get up close to Dinar and sort of like cling to his shirt or something, and then look up at him and say, "I don't understand why people lie."
Denar's gonna have like an awkward pause for a moment. And then he's gonna turn down and he says, "Well, there are a lot of reasons people lie. Sometimes people lie to protect themselves. Some people lie just to be cruel, but everybody usually has some reason to lie. It's different for everybody."
Jolie takes this in, takes a beat, nods, and then writes it all down.
Oh, we still eat breakfast, don't we? I'm gonna start cooking, I guess.
um,
Sometimes people lie because that's easier.
Easier than what?
Well, the truth can be a very difficult thing to deal with. Sometimes things happen that we wish hadn't, and lying is sort of the only way to make it feel like those things didn't happen.
But if they happened, then they're the facts, they're history, and we should tell them.
The truth is very important. You're right.
Yeah, I know.
Sometimes, though, I'm not saying that lying is right. I'm just saying sometimes you lie for a good reason. To make
So, like
something.
murder.
No. No, not murder. You have to go on a case by case basis.
Like murder.
Yeah!
No. Well,
Murder isn't always a bad thing.
you're not there,
I
Robbie.
told you not to write that down about the murder thing.
I'm gonna write down lying next to murder under the sometimes okay category.
No, well,
Not
okay.
what you said.
I feel like we're getting off track.
Lying and murder.
But very rarely are they okay. I just want to emphasize that very rarely are they
You have the percentages on that, or
No, just maybe like 1 out of every 200 times.
okay.
So, by the way, at this point, you do notice Kalik is watching you guys with a semi-horrified expression.
Dinar rubs the corner of his eyes. It's been a long morning. I don't think anybody should lie. I don't think it's good.
Okay.
I think if you do something bad, the right thing is to deal with the consequences. But sometimes telling the truth can hurt someone more than it helps them.
Man, I really wish I was there right now.
How could telling the truth hurt somebody?
Oh my god, you guys.
Well, all right. For example, a very long time ago, before I met you, I met someone else. Janara feels so awkward. Not like you, different from you in a lot of ways. Let me start. I'm not doing this very well. Before I met you, I met a young tiefling, and I fell in love with him. And we were together, and Dinar pauses and looks down at Jolie and then says, very clearly lying, held hands a lot.
No!
We loved to hold hands.
Oh my god. Stop it.
Jolie takes this at face value.
We only spent a week together, but during that week we were holed up in our own little cabin in the woods, holding hands.
What do you think is happening?
And get a little peek into Dinar's sexual history. Dinar is blushing, so he tries to compose himself a little bit, and he starts the story. And anyway, one day, he went off to go take care of something. He didn't tell me what, but he was found dead by the end of the night. Caravan had hit him and killed him.
No!
And I found out about this from his wife.
Whoa!
He who approached me and was asking if anybody knew him or knew why he was in town. And you see, Jolie, the thing about marriage, maybe we've gone over this before. When you're married, you agree to only hold hands with the person you're married to.
It depends on marriage.
For the rest of your life. And so you see, he had broken that promise to his wife with me, but she didn't know that he and I had held hands so much.
Oh my god.
Dinar checks to see if she's picking up on, if she's understanding this thus far.
Hand holding.
Okay, good.
Mikey. So I'm yelling at Chunk.
Okay. Okay, Dinar takes a deep breath and he says, so because I knew that his wife didn't know and that she was already very brokenhearted about him being dead, I thought that the best thing to do would be to lie and tell her that he and I hadn't held hands, that we were friends strictly of the non-hand-holding variety.
Oh,
And
I can't believe Alyssa's missing this.
she has to watch. Tell her she has to watch this episode. Don't tell her why. Just tell her she has to watch it. And so she and I cried and grieved together over the loss of the person we both loved, and we parted ways. And shortly after, I met you. But that was the biggest lie I've ever told, and given the opportunity, I would tell it again rather than hurt somebody. Do you understand? Was that clear?
Yeah, more or less.
Good.
So that statistically now you have 199 more truths to tell before it's okay for you to lie again, or
Well, and I mean the thing you have to understand about statistics is they're not as strict as all that. Statistically, a coin should only come up heads 50% of the time, but it's possible to flip a coin 20 times and it comes up heads 10
Only
times,
in our group.
15 times in a row. It's more of a statistical probability than an actual strict rule of fact. Yes, I have 199 truths. Yes.
okay, great, thanks. So Jolie writes all of this down dutifully.
But I won't see a need for me to ever lie again. I have never held hands with anyone since, and I will never hold hands with anyone again.
Whoa.
I'll never love again. I won't even hold hands with myself.
Jolie writes all of this down, and then sort of pats Dinar on the elbow.
Yeah, Denara cries a little.
Oh my god.
Kalik is spent this whole time actively trying to look away, but like failing, like the equivalent of like a soap opera being on TV, and just
Yeah,
keeps looking over.
Yeah, Denar's life is like a soap opera.
I mean, the entertainment's at a premium in this world, so.
I am sad Alyssa's
Okay.
missing this.
So Jolie's gonna smell breakfast cooking and gradually sort of tug Dinar in that direction.
Oh, yes.
Hoping that food will help cheer him up maybe a little bit.
When you get over there, you do see a little, little black cat, which I assume you figured out is Emera, kind of standing nearby and kind of trying to get up and look at the food, and then occasionally backs off and seems to like have little spasms, like shaking her legs or trying to do something.
Like the cat thing, where they just sort of randomly like spasm on their legs.
Yeah, except a little more extreme. She's if you watch her for a little bit, you probably gather she's trying to turn back, but Kit doesn't know how. She's still working on it.
That smells delicious.
You'll get it.
Is there anywhere to sit near where the breakfast is cooking, or?
I mean, you're probably
Be
cooking it
relaxed.
kind of around the middle of the deck, unless you want to go below deck to do it, which either would be fine.
Is there a kitchen?
Are
we
not
fire?
really?
They call it a galley, right? On a ship.
I mean, okay, yeah. I mean, there'd be a room where kind of eating tends to take place. So yeah, you'd be able to kind of go down there, but a lot of the food that would be taken on the ship would mostly be kind of dried stuff that didn't really require much in life preparation. So Thud's just going
Well,
above and
shit.
beyond.
I'm whipping that shit up into a gourmet meal.
Yep, because that's what you do. Um, yeah, and
I can make a magic flame. I don't need no stove.
yeah. So yeah, you have no trouble with any of this. You're just kind of making do with what you got and making it work. Um, and I mean,
Okay.
you've always traveled with like cooking gear.
Okay. Dinar is still crying. Tries to act like he's not crying. I'm gonna go and roll deception. And he says to Thud, "That smells delicious."
You said that was your deception roll?
My deception to look like I'm not crying.
I'm sorry, you blinked out. What did you say?
I'm trying to look like I'm not crying.
Yin, how successful is she?
Mildly. She looks like clearly looks like if that like she's been crying recently.
Kind like instantly freezes. Like it's like it's getting like very nervous and like hands over some food. And then just kind of like looks at Dinar for a second and then like looks like down and away and then back at Dinar and then he's gonna mumble like really quietly like you want a hug?
Yes. Yes, thank you.
Oh, that's gonna like sort of hesitantly open his arms.
Dinar's gonna go ahead and just completely embrace that he just needs this hug right now, and he just cries.
You
That
got,
is really freaked out. He's never had to help someone else emotionally. No, he's like hugging you, but he's like, very stiff and nervous.
There's also a cat rubbing at your feet, attempting to join, but does not have the ability to actually hug.
Jolie is immensely relieved that she is off of the emotional care duty. Far from her duties.
It must be weird for her. Dinar's just been this emotionless rock for the entire time she's known him.
I don't know what to do now.
This is unusual. Dinar gets his hugging in and he pulls away and he claps Thud on the shoulders and he says, "Thank you. It's been a really rough morning."
Okay.
I mean, at this point, we gotta. I mean, I guess time stretch. Anything in particular people want to do or work on after a couple. How long does she stay? Half hour, or is it a couple hours? Robbie, do you remember how long beast form lasts?
I'll pull it up real quick. There you go. I think it's an hour, but I'll double check. Oh, that one doesn't say. Does my other one say? Wild shape.
Number of hours equal to half your druid level rounded down. So it's sincerely like maybe 15 minutes, and then she drops and then she just kind of turns back.
Okay, well she's got to rest now because she's not gonna be able to do it again until after
Yeah.
she rests.
Um, but she kind of immediately kind of comes up to you and wants to help prepare food, but also uh,
It's
seems.
still preparing food, or is it done?
Oh, is it done? I don't know. It's anyway. Then she wants to eat food, um, but also she seems really excited that she did it, which is very impressive. If it weren't for that natural 20, she would not have. The fact of the matter is that is a level 2 druid thing. Level 1 druids cannot do that thing, and she is not
Oh.
yet a level 1 druid. So,
Talented.
um,
Very, very cool.
so that was. But anyway, so she seems very excited. But food's ready. Are you gonna go get people, or just assume people will find their way to the food if they want it, or you
People can
just
find their way to the food. That's not gonna go people.
okay?
Yeah. That's Dinar's thing.
All right, then it's the four of you guys. No one else kind of seems to show up.
Okay, so Dinar's gonna eat.
Yep.
We all eat.
Food is had. I think everyone's at full HP anyway because it's been freaking forever since we actually had a fight. So
We almost had
I
maybe
guess-
some wolves.
yeah,
I guess Thud will go like slip Ruby some food through her door.
sure, you do. And
Talk, yeah.
Ruby is the predictable combination of appreciative and kind of snarkily unappreciative at the same time. Um, but beyond that, things continue for most of the rest of the day without incident. You guys do end up kind of as kind of it gets to be nighttime. The area you're heading is getting like more and more mountainous, but you are kind of skirting along the fault, essentially the mountain range. And then as you like it kind of, I mean, eventually. And this is like really quick travel. It's one of those things where like this would have been a couple week trip on the ground, but because you're in the air and because the airship moves as quickly as it does, it's much quicker. Um, but
I'll go see. Can I like talk to the ambassador?
I mean, yeah, sure. You are essentially her bodyguards for this thing. She's got a couple. She's got some other guards too, but for the most part, you guys are welcome to go talk to her.
My guess is that Jolie just wants to know everything about Draconia, about where the ambassador is going, about what her tasks are, and who she is, and her own personal history and her family history, and
Yeah, and she engages very quickly. You get that she is pretty close to her cousin and is coming out as is coming and taking over for her cousin as the new ambassador to Draconia. Um, you gather you she kind of explains like talking about Draconia. You do find out that she is a kind of sub branch of the Draconian royal family, um, and you. I'm trying to think what else. I don't know what else specifically are you.
I don't know, like what kind of political relationship Draconia has with where we are now, and the kind of work that the ambassador does, and um, things like that.
Yeah, currently, the the country you guys are in, and Ashios and Draconia are not quote unquote allies, but they're definitely trade partners, um, and there isn't any bitterness going on currently between the two. Uh, there are some significant differences. Draconia does rely a lot heavier on a kind of slave trade economy, that Ashios has very strict rules in terms of owning slaves, and has kind of been trying to get rid of those rules for a while, so that way, like, to the point where, like, to abolish slavery. But as it stands, they kind of just made it so restrictive that there just aren't very many. And the plan is to kind of keep tightening those restrictions until it stops. But as it stands, Draconia is the exact opposite. It's like center for that, and that's kind of been the biggest point of contention between the two. But it's not like, I mean, it's just one of those, like, people of Ashios are like, oh, those uncivilized Draconians don't even know how to
have slaves.
do slavery right. Well, from their perspective, it's like, do it right, because they do still have slaves in Ashios, just not very many. But anyway, so, but among other things, every slave in Ashios there are systems for them to eventually earn their freedom, which is not, yeah, which is not a thing in Draconia. But yeah, so you get some of that, and she seems like weirdly okay to talk about it. She seems to very much approach things from a clinical, political side. She doesn't seem to come heavily down on one side or the other. Just kind of states the facts and states what the people in each place want.
Okay. So we'd had, this is so long ago now, I'm not entirely sure what I know for sure, but there had been some indication that she, like, knew of potential specific threats against her, which is why she needed a big guard.
Yeah.
So I'll try to pick her brain about that again. I know last time she wasn't very forthcoming with details, but
yeah, and she's likewise evasive this time. Like, but she will tell you she expects that she wasn't expecting to travel by airship, and if anyone's going to do anything, it would almost certainly have to be after we land.
okay. Well, that's all I've got. I just wanted to talk to her before whatever is about to happen to us happens to us.
Yep.
That's a good idea. Stuff tends to happen to us.
Yeah. No, as it gets to nighttime, I mean, the party can sleep or not as they wish. Kiri goes ahead and makes her little magic purple bubble, and then and just kind of uses it as a little magic tent and stays in there. Then as, like, kind of dawn starts to approach, the airship kind of starts slowing down, and looks like, and then, like, anyone who goes up on deck sees it's starting to come down to a very large city, to a dock at a very large city.
So Jolie's gonna run up to Kalik and write down, is this the capital?
She nods. And the crew's all running around, kind of doing everything they need to kind of get the ship landed in the water by the dock, and then pull it up to the dock.
Right, which Jolie is observing and writing things down about.
Yeah. Kiri comes out of her bubble and kind of seems to be ready. Everything kind of lands. Everyone up on deck, or?
Yeah.
Okay. And I assume Ruby will be up there too. And kind of lands, and ships are slow, so docking is a little bit of a process. But and plus, with a big trade city like this, there are a few other ships before this one, and this wasn't exactly a expected or scheduled flight. There's no way to send word that we were going by airship. So
Everything's cool. We just have a giant flying machine now.
nonetheless, there does appear to be a group on the dock waiting for the ship to pull up and dock. At which point, as we're kind of pulling up, Lady Makira comes up on deck with flanked by a couple of her guards and starts getting by the edge to be able to step off when we pull up and drop anchor, as it were. So we do so, then things get rolled out, and she kind of steps as the kind of ramp gets descended. She starts coming down with her guards by her, and starts coming out, and the group led by an individual with kind of long black hair, and he just kind of nods, or does it kind of nods, but then segues into a deep bow with it, and then kind of comes back up. It's like, Lady Makira, we've been sent to escort you to the castle. Where does everyone? How far back does everyone want to hang, or do we want to?
Jolie wants to be right up there with everything.
Yeah, we should.
Suspicious since she talked to Lady Makira. Lady Makira was like, "Oh, if anyone's gonna do anything, they're gonna do it after we land." So Julie's kind of on alert.
Yep.
Yeah.
Denari's
is also gonna stick close.
Yeah.
Yep.
There's still quite a bit of distance between the group and Makira. We're kind of down the dock, and they're kind of hailing from the other side, and they're starting to get close. There's a little bit of a moment where once this gets done, Kalik kind of hops over the side and swings over on a rope next to between the group and Makira, and kind of nods to them and is like, hello, I'm the captain, or acting captain. Did you have something you wanted to? And they're like, oh, we were just here to. And they kind of look at her weird, and like, we're just here to guide her ladyship to the castle. She's like, okay, and kind of smiles and then turns and starts tying up the boat and everything. At which point,
can Julie ask to see these people's credentials?
Yeah, well, they kind of pause and look at her. Sorry, who are you?
I am part of Lady Makira's protection force, and we have to make sure that we are handing her off we are helping her accompany her to someplace that is safe with people we can trust, and therefore I assume that since you're sent from the castle, you have some manner of credentials that can prove that.
He kind of stops, like, well, it's like, we don't have, I'm not sure what you're talking about, and seems really confused.
I feel
like ID
really
ID cards aren't really a thing.
It's not some kind of insignia, castle, anything they're wearing that shows that they work in some official capacity.
Kind of gestures to some markings on their armor or whatever. And so one steps up to kind of try and deal with you. And while this is happening, Makira kind of nods to you and just kind of says, I think we'll be all right, and then kind of gives you a quick wink, which you're welcome to roll an insight check if you.
I do.
Yeah, she's got something. plan. Like she is ready for if this is a bad situation. And she kind of steps forward, past her guards, and seems to kind of give a little bit of a wave for them to back off, and steps kind of toward the group, and kind of smiles and nods. It's like, I'm ready if you would like to escort me to the castle. And they kind of I'll have them roll. They don't see shit. They don't catch on to anything, so they're just like, yeah, sure, whatever, and like, you know, kind of turn and start walking her towards the edge of the dock. At which point, if you guys want to do perception checks real quick.
Yep. What do we add to that again? Oh yeah, nothing.
Wisdom.
I don't have anything.
Shit.
Yeah, Jolie, you spot while, like, even though she appears to be busy tying up the boat, Kalik has opened her butterfly cage, and a couple butterflies kind of float out and land on a couple of the people walking with Makira. But the rest of you guys don't spot this. As this goes on, one of the people in the group does pull their weapon and slashes at Makira, and it just passes right through her. And there's a momentary pause as like the others turn and ready their weapons, and all their and like she's not there. It is just an illusion. And then they kind of turn, and the illusion dissipates, and as it does, she appears back up on deck. It's a high level spell where you can turn invisible and cast an illusion of yourself, illusionary double of yourself at the same time.
Oh, that's great. Okay.
She drops it, and they kind of have this awkward moment where they're looking around, and then Kalik looks up, and it's just like, okay, bye. And then the butterflies explode into like torrent of like thick. There's like a cone of like thick winter storm, like sleet and hail spinning, and like a powerful wind, just like catching them all up in it. And let's see how much damage this is gonna do, because this will be fun. It's 2 butterflies, so 2 of them go off. This is going to be sleet storm. How much damage does sleet storm do? Give me my. Okay, so this is not sleet storm. What is this?
Bless you.
Thank you.
Ice storm. Different spell. My bad.
Did we be rolling initiative? What's...
I mean, you will roll initiative immediately after this, legitimately, if there are any of these guys left.
Okay.
We are about to find out, but that is 4 bludgeoning damage and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 cold damage. So 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 from the first one. Then total 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39. That is 39 damage to all of them. At which point, a couple of them are still standing, but barely. Including the guy who was like leading the group, is like just like cold and caked with snow and ice, and with like these huge like kind of welts on him from where he'd been pummeled with the hail, and just kind of looks around really dazed and confused, and looks up at you guys. It's just like, well, Then welcome to Kaia, Ambassador. And just loosens his belt and lets his sword just drop to the ground and puts his hands up. At which point, you guys are free to do whatever.
Well, I guess there's no
First,
point
Jolie
in rolling.
grumbles that she was totally right to distrust these guys.
Yeah.
And everyone's paying attention to her.
You gather that Makita and Kalik were pretty much just planning on this happening, and we're ready ahead of time. But yeah, you guys kind of get off the boat and start moving your way across as like the couple of guys who are still barely standing turn and start kind of trying to tend to their people who got beaten up and some guards are running over. So
You should arrest those guys. You should arrest them.
They should be arrested. They should be arrested.
They should be arrested.
They should be.
Just made an attempt on the new ambassador's life. That was bad.
That could be a really political mistake for you not to arrest them.
The guards kind of look at you and are like, all right, go ahead and make persuasion checks, I guess.
Well.
Well, I don't want to be the Will Wheaton of this group. I don't want this group to have a Will Wheaton.
They kind of look at you guys and are just not having it. They're like really just like, what? And they look at the Dragonborn lady coming off and they're just like, stop. Guys, don't just stay there. At which point, I guess Kiri will come up and just pull back her cloak and hold up her Inquisitor's badge. She's like, it's cool, they're with me. Then the guards are really confused. They're like, okay. And Kiri's just like, what they said, arrest those guys.
Thank you.
Like,
Thank you.
Okay. And they start like moving and going and kind of getting the people who are being healed. They're not dead, but they're getting pulled off. At which point, the group is free to pass.
Let's do it.
Yep.
Let's go. Yeah.
Where we're going?
Nope.
The castle? Where are we taking her?
I mean, yeah. They claimed they were going to be taking her to the castle. You suspect that was not the case, but the castle is visible. It's hard to miss.
Do you even know what she's doing here?
Ambassading.
She's here to take over as the new ambassador to Draconia.
And her office is like in the castle. That's where we're going.
No, that.
You would know, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Job.
Well, yeah, but it also wasn't. It's also kind of only recently been thrown at her. She seems to want. She starts like kind of leading the way. Is like, well, I guess we're headed there, and kind of points to the castle and starts moving with the group. Which her guards are leading the way, and the couple that Renton sent from the station in Vale.
Was our job just to get her here, or?
Yeah, pretty much.
So we're done?
I mean,
Well, she's not
once you get
settled
her
in
inside
yet.
the castle, but yeah.
Yeah,
you
let's
guys
still
are-
leave the castle.
The
Jolie,
hardest part about this job is dealing with freaking Ruby.
yeah. Jolie might go up and talk to some of the guards and say, like, did you know that she cast the illusion spell? Because if not, then you guys are really bad at your jobs.
You get some sideways glances, but they don't say anything.
Denar's just gonna kind of try and usher Jolie. They know they're bad. They know. Let's go.
I'm gonna like look down at Jolie and say, "Did you know that she was an illusion?"
No, but I tried to question the people and I was ready in case they were evil and I was totally on that and nobody else was even trying. So literally everyone else other than Khalik is bad at this job.
This, whatever.
um, you guys keep moving forward so far unimpeded. I mean, this group of people was like 8 or 9 people. So as you're moving on, it seem you're under the impression that whoever sent them really thought that that would work. um, but so you guys managed to just kind of get to the castle gate. At which point, Makira introduces herself, and one of the guards kind of gets sent and goes to look for someone else, and you're asked to wait a few minutes.
Not that this is our problem, but it would be a really good idea if Makita got someone to interrogate those guys to find out who sent them so that she could figure out who her enemy in the capital is so that they could maybe, work on that.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
our part is done, but that's a good idea moving forward.
Yes, that
Yeah.
that is a thing.
No lecture, really.
But after a few minutes, another silver dragonborn woman comes up to the gate and kind of it gets opened up for you guys, and she kind of and I was like, "Oh, Makira, it's so great to see you," and like they hug, and like as they let go, she kind of waves at all the rest of you. He's like, "Come in, come in. We've traveled quite a ways. Let's Then kind of gestures and is like, looks to to like her servant behind her and is like, go get his majesty our banquet we were getting ready for. It looks like we're gonna need to get it ready a little quicker than we thought." She kind of turns back and is like, "How did you guys get here so quickly? How did you get here so quickly?"
Airship.
Flew on a boat. Yeah, I
Um,
like the idea that they say that at the exact same time.
Yep. And she's kind of interested and impressed and nods like, okay. Then kind of brings everyone in. Let me find my notes to see what this character's name is, because I forgot, because I'm a bad DM.
No.
No.
Wait, this is my old character sheet.
Is it?
Yeah, I can't find where's my new one? I know I saved it to my computer.
Alright, let me hop off and grab my notes.
Huh. It's annoying.
I was just gonna say real quick, it's been really weird getting back into Thud because I've been working on a different character that is quite different from Thud.
Yep.
There's my character sheet. Okay.
One could say they're somewhat opposites. Okay, so let's see. Let's jump to I swear I had notes on this. Oh, they're on my laptop. Shoot. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Let me just pull those up real quick. That's the wrong page. That's not gonna be what I want. Oh, it's gonna be in one of these folders, and I got like 5 D&D folders. Okay, well, time to go to a Dragonborn name generator.
They're fun.
Yeah.
Hollow Talon is my last name.
Very good.
Hello Talon or Yellow Talon?
Hallow.
Oh, better.
Hello, Talon.
I know, hello, Talon.
That's what the tiefling said when he first met me. Hello, Talon.
All right. This is very you quickly gather through context. This is the current ambassador to Draconia, named Valkyra, uh, and she and is Jolie. This is Makira's cousin.
Okay.
So as they kind of progress, seems to mostly just be doing kind of like, how have you been doing? How's the rest of the family? Blah blah blah. Kind of doing catch up with them, um, and as you're going, she kind of leads you guys to like a really nice parlor, but you pass through like tons of guards. Like entering the castle, and in the castle there are a bunch of guards. It even looks like there are kind of set up suits of armor along the side of the kind of entry hallway until you realize that they are guards. And
Are they
then-
wearing anything that distinguishes them as working officially for the castle?
I mean, the same. There's a crest, but it's the same crest that that the other guys pointed to. Like the royal crest seems to just kind of be a fixture around this city. It doesn't seem
I
to
don't trust
do
it.
a lot.
They should be more careful.
Yeah, there should be
Um,
like a badge. This is what Donar has been preaching, is that badges.
They obviously stole the royal armor of the royal guard. I'm sure they could have stolen some patches.
Gotta keep tight rein over these things.
You guys, I mean, you get there, and this is like really early in the morning, and after a little bit, you kind of talking, Lady Valkyra, kind of does introduce herself more formally at one point, and begs your forgiveness for not having done so immediately, and kind of thanks you all for taking care of her cousin, and then kind of says, "We can, you're welcome to spend the day in the city. We're preparing a feast. You are welcome to attend this evening, in celebration of our news of," and she gestures like the new appointment the appointment of the new Draconian ambassador.
Let's gonna like look over at the other two and be like, I'm not sure, guys. They definitely have a traitor because those guys were wearing guard armor.
Yeah, there is something suspicious going on here, and I am uncomfortable with that.
Yeah, someone's not doing their job properly. We should probably find out who that is.
Right.
This very kind of tactless response, but they kind of but Valkyria kind of nods and it's like,
Us?
I
No, we're the most tactful group.
she kind of nods and is like, it is being seen to, and we are aware of the current situation. And she kind of like nods and is like, the treachery is contained outside the castle walls at this point, and we are already aware of its source. And kind of seems to mostly just kind of be okay with it, like fully just acknowledge this is just a thing that's happening, and then she kind of turns and
Can we like insight check her?
go for it.
What do I add to insight? Wisdom?
Wisdom.
Well,
Oh.
Oh yeah.
What exactly are you trying to read?
I mean, she like seems very blasé about this attack that happened, so I'm really like wondering if she's involved. So I guess I'm checking to see if I can see if she's I don't
yeah.
know, like lying or fidgeting or acting any way suspicious.
No. This
Okay, maybe Jolie's gonna ask, like, how would the people who wanted Makira dead have known that we were flying in on an airship and that we were coming in today? How would they have known to meet us at the docks?
she frowns, kind of at that question. She's like, well, unfortunately, it sounds like their intelligence network must just move a little quicker than ours. And she kind of looks back at you guys and was like, I am sorry that we didn't manage to move to counter them. We did not know that you were coming by airship. I guess somehow they did.
Somehow. How could they have known?
Spies.
Bye.
Treachery.
But
Spies and treachery.
and she kind of waves a hand, is like, I mean, there are ways. Divination spells could have told them. Anyone who has met or even reliably knows of my cousin Makira here would be able to scry on her.
Oh,
Ugh.
And Thud, writing your 20 insight check. She seems weirdly unconcerned, but beyond that, not suspicious. Like, she seems to mean what she says.
So Thud turns to the group and goes, well, I guess we have a choice because it seems like it's probably not a good idea to stick around if we want to stay safe. But on the other hand, they don't seem very good at their jobs. So if we wanted to help, we could stay.
Well established. Yeah.
they're all very bad at their job. They're bad. I do this job and I'm better than they are. I don't know how long they've been working here, but they're bad at it.
Denard takes a deep breath and he
Are
says,
you guys hiding this conversation at all, or are you just having it right in
No.
front of her?
"No."
At which point she kind of gestures and is like, I was under the impression that you were hired guards and assistants in this. Am I wrong?
Yeah, no.
No, but our literal like instructions were just to get her here.
She nods and then just kind of generally waves and is like, then it seems to me the people we hired are perfectly fine at their jobs.
Well,
Mm,
I
I think you
mean,
just got
no.
lucky.
That would be us, right?
Yes.
Like he's talking about. I mean, we were very good at the job, but like we literally didn't do anything.
Does Dinar
like,
say
we
that,
heard-
or is this
No,
Charlene?
I am saying that.
Yeah.
No, Dinar has a voice. I'm not using my character voice, but like, no, I mean, we argued on a boat for a couple of days, and then we landed, and then she defended herself.
Oh,
We've done literally nothing.
Sometimes
Oh, yeah,
that's how bodyguard jobs happen.
yeah. I could say Renton might like it if we stayed and helped out, since someone's clearly gonna try and kill someone, and if we help, we could make a name for ourselves. Is that something we want?
I would feel wrong leaving the ambassador in the hands of incapable morons.
I guess that's a thing that you can feel.
There's a little bit of a. I mean, all of this is like at this point she went from being kind of like shocked and a little like and a bit offended at your guys' statements. Now she almost seems more amused, and she's like, "I assure you, that the royal guards are as qualified, if not more so, than yourselves, and
Mm.
while your
No,
assistants."
don't know.
While your assistance is your potential discussion of offering assistance is appreciated, I can assure you it is not required from here.
Is she
You're-
basically telling us to back off?
she's she's clarifying. It's like, you are invited to the celebratory banquet, but no more work in an official capacity is required. If you
So
wish to leave, you can.
I was gonna give her like a blank look and then turn back to you two and say, "So, do we want to stay and save them, or do we want to leave?"
Okay.
Actually, at this point, two two other people walk into the room. One's a man with black hair, green eyes, wearing kind of a traveler's coat. Another one is a half elven man, kind of long brown hair, beard, and in like very fine robes, kind of comes in and kind of they walk up kind of behind you guys, but not like sneakily, and seem to kind of be listening to the conversation.
I mean, I guess we just decided that we're staying.
Yeah.
Uh, the
Jelly
man
kind of wants to go back to the airship, but recognizes the wisdom of making sure that something gets taken care of before they go.
the man with the black hair kind of does kind of wave and says like, actually, you're not. And he's like, if I'm not mistaken, you guys just came from Vale. You Renton sent you, I assume.
Yes.
He's like nods and bows. He's like, nice to meet you. My name is Silas Vale. I'm one of the one of the many
800 children
Vales.
that they have. Yes.
Smiles and nods. He's like, if you guys are up for another job, I've got something for you. Might prove interesting and challenging. At which
Go
point
on.
the man next to him kind of rolls his eyes and shakes his head. He's like, I'm not entirely sure this is a good idea, Silas. Then the Valkyria kind of gestures, just like, they were just informing me how they do think that the security measures here at the palace are a little lax. It's possible they could
Actually,
help.
we weren't really talking to you, so.
uh, the man in the robes kind of turns his head weirdly to the side. Um, then Silas um, kind of walks over and is like, um, I'm well, and he pulls from his coat a kind of white gold based Inquisitor's crest and and flashes it and puts it back under his coat and is like, I have official work that would be legal under my say so. Um, if you guys are interested, we can. He gestures to the palace around him, like, we can pay well, or but if you we can talk about it at the banquet if you guys are staying.
We haven't had the best track record with Inquisitors.
Mm, well, that depends on what you think is bad and what you think is good, because we made an Inquisitor, technically.
Yeah, we're kind of 50-50 with them.
Yeah, I'd say we're down the middle of the road.
I would say more like 3-1.
What's the white gold Inquisitor? What would that correlate to?
The only one, or okay, the only ones you haven't seen before are you haven't seen a crest of Shar, which is the kind of goddess of death and night, and you have not seen one of Lathander, which is god of light and birth.
So probably light and birth.
Lathander is the god that the king of Ashios follows.
Um, I'm okay with sticking around at the banquet and touching base with Silas then and hearing more about it.
I want to hear more about it.
Oh, fine, but I don't trust them.
That's fine. We can still work for them and not trust them.
Kiri kind of looks at you guys and shrugs. She's like, didn't have anything planned, so. And then Ruby, for the lack of other things, goes along with it because Alyssa's not here. Then they all kind of nod and just kind of like, and Silas kind of nods and is like, then I do thank you all for your assistance, and I look forward to talking to you tonight. And then like turns to leave the room, and as he does, kind of bows real quickly. He's like, "Your Majesty," walks out. At which point you guys are left in the room with the two silver dragonborns and the man in the red robes, the half elven man.
Magic. Does a just be? Should we be? Is there a?
He smiles and nods, like, I suppose introductions are in order. I am. Fuck. Why'd I introduce this character when I know his notes are on that page I can't find? I don't remember his name.
What are you doing? Bartholomew. Or the best.
I had I had names for all these characters. I'm just, because I'm bringing them up now, I'm having to reinvent them on the fly. Oh, internet's loading. Okay. He nods and yes, you gather from context this is the king of Ashios. He's like, but I am always looking for new talented individuals for various stations, and kind of gestures. He's like, and if you come highly recommended from Renton Vale, you would be more than welcome additions if interested in. Shrugs. He's like, well, I don't know what business specifically you guys specialize in.
Fucking things up and then like scrambling to fix it.
Is that what Dinar says?
No, that's not what I'm not talking in my character voice.
That's fine.
Sorry, what did you say? I didn't catch it.
Oh, we specialize in fucking things up and then scrambling to fix it.
No.
All right, so we've got this is King Doran, Dorren. Okay. And his name would definitely precede him.
I'm Thud.
And he gives a kind of deep nod, not a bow, a deep nod. It's like, it is a pleasure to meet you.
And Joey, my brother.
Kind of nods, pleasure to meet you as well.
I'm gonna roll an intimidation check.
Yeah.
Dinar looks him dead in the eye and says, "I'm Dinar Hollow Talon."
And looks you dead in the eye back and kind of crosses his arms and nods. It is a pleasure to meet you. But definitely kind of responds to the
well, he's the king of like a slave country. Dinar does not really like him very much.
We're the not slave country.
This is the country that's getting rid of that's making actions to try and get rid of slavery. But
yeah,
you would know there kind of isn't such thing as a non-slave country at the moment.
Yeah. This is like the pioneer country of abolishing slavery. Feel free to voice your concerns, though.
I guess Ruby introduces herself.
Listening.
And it looks at Kiri.
Can't believe I finally rolled higher than a 12. Sudden intimidation.
Which, first of all, the fact that he's like so kind of forthrightly meeting a really bizarre group. We do have, uh, like, I mean, a half orc, a drow, a dragonborn, a halfling, or two halflings, and they're.
You know,
I mean, it's just this is not what
A
you'd
baby half-orc.
expect. Like the king kind of being as kind of warm a reception. Um,
that scratches Biscuit's ears and goes, "This is a biscuit."
kind of looks at it, he's like, "It's nice to meet you, Biscuit." Looks over at what I assume is a half orc girl hiding behind your legs.
Mm-hmm.
Is like, he's like, "And you are a lady?" She kind of peeks out, is like, "Amara." "It is nice to meet you, Amara." Stands up, turns over, and then like looks at Kiri for a second, who's kind of like frozen, and looks around awkwardly, and then kind of puts her face on and goes into a very deep curtsy, and it's like, um, let me look up the name of the. She's like, Lady Kirilyn Nilo of Citrivia, Your Majesty. Looks back up and kind of takes a half step back, and kind of is very practiced, graceful, proper, uh, like has spent time in worlds equivalent to this.
Dinar
Kind of
is a little weirded out by this.
kind of nods. It's like, "It is nice to meet you," and kind of looks over and is like, "Well, if you wish, we can provide some kind of entertainment in the meantime. Otherwise, you're free to explore the city. There's much to offer here." And kind of smiles and is like, "I'm afraid I don't know what sorts of things you all like, so I don't have entertainment prepared, but we could put something together if you think so."
Apparently, some of us like holding hands.
Not since his death. There's no one I want to hold hands with anymore.
Um,
You guys get that it's a metaphor for sex, right?
What?
What is it, Poppy? Who's there?
anyone respond in terms of, does anyone have any idea what they want to do in the city, or
Is there a bookstore?
he kind of nods. It's like, certainly. Also, I mean, we have an extensive library here in the castle you'd be welcome to look at, and I'm sure anything you wanted to take with you, as long as it's replaceable, we wouldn't mind letting you do that. Kind of shrugs. It's like, the least we can do for payment for your services.
But we'll also be getting actual payment,
He-
right?
He smiles and nods. He's like, we have met and exceeded, or we can meet and exceed whatever whatever the young Master Vale has promised you, and it will not be necessary for him to front the funds for this. We greatly appreciate his service.
Dinar says, a library would be great. Is there anything, Jolie, is there anything in particular you would like to do? I imagine you could line up some people and ask them questions.
Ooh, that sounds fun. Also, maybe is there like a magic academy or a clockmakers or any place where there will be people who know things I want to know that I could find out while I'm here?
He nods and is like, yes, to probably all of that. Kind of looks over. Is like, I'm not sure. I mean, he's thinking. He's like, we've got tinkerer shops, and we've got you know, plenty of smaller schools of academic study. Whether or not you want to get into the larger academy would probably require a little more sway. But he kind of smiles. He's like, I think I can manage it. Kind of turns. He's like,
Royal joke.
did you want to? Did you want to see the larger academy or one of the smaller specialized ones?
Maybe like Jolie explains what she does and asks if there's any of the smaller specialized ones that would be able to kind of help her out there.
He kind of ruffles his eyebrows and seems
Alright, back.
confused by it. Looks over at um Valkia, who just kind of shrugs and is like, it sounds to me like your line of study is a bit more on the edge of being pioneered, which he kind of smiles like, which is very impressive. But in terms of what could help you, I'm a bit more unsure. The Tinkerers could definitely help you with some of that if you indeed want any assistance from the more technical side. And in terms of enchantments, they're kind of stops and thinks like, I mean, we have. It might actually benefit you to take a look at the. We could. He kind of gestures around. It's like we do pay for and have enchanted items around the castle, and several nobles also contract out to our kind of private enchanter. It may behoove you to go talk to her.
Yeah, that's what I want.
He nods. He's like, we can arrange that. Turns and looks at the rest of you all. He's like expectantly, whether or not you guys want to speak up, do anything.
I'm sticking with Jolie, but I will be getting to that library very soon.
Of course, and kind of goes over to a little bit of a side desk, pulls out some kind of stationery, and starts writing kind of official permission passes to be able to get back into the castle.
Permission
library.
slip.
Turns the page, writes Jolie one to go see the enchanter. Kind of turns to Thud. Anything I can do for you, sir?
Oh, no.
Kind of looks like, oh, are you sure? It is a fine city. There's plenty I could supply, unless you. But you are more than welcome to explore it on your own or with your friends.
Yeah, no, my dad always said that a king would be